What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel, and I have a treat for you guys. And today's episode is amongst my favorite series, and that series is called Ridiculous RV Upgrades. And in today's episode, we're going to be doing a system that I really think will benefit from for a couple reasons, but mostly it's just not something most people do in an RV, and we have the ability to do it, which will be really awesome. This isn't something everyone can do, depending on the layout of your rig. Now, in our fifth wheel, we have tons of room, and the way this is set up is it kind of gives us a really awesome platform to work with and add a lot of aftermarket stuff. Now, I will take a few steps back and we will talk about why I'm doing this. Now, if you live in an RV, fifth wheel, motorhome, pull behind, bumper pull, whatever you live in, you know that the biggest battle is dust. 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 And more dust. All the seals of the slide outs and these windows are terrible single pane windows, real awful when it comes to keeping dust out. But where we are at, we've had a ridiculous amount of windstorms, and it's been more than usual. However, we're next to dusty dirt fields, and the amount of dust that this has brought in. So what we're going to implement is going to help with that, but that isn't really the full reason we're installing this. The main reason we're installing this is because temperature and room airflow regulation. So we installed a mini split on our fifth wheel. And now that mini split has been one of the best upgrades we've had because the roof ACs didn't actually work when we bought this. So we implemented a mini split, which we've had on our tiny house that we built, and that was absolutely amazing. Its heating properties were really awesome, and its cooling properties were just as great. So we installed that mini split here in our living quarters, and we have the head unit right here mounted up here on the cabinet, and basically that takes care of the entire living room. Now, this is a 12K BTU system that works on 110. This is one of the biggest units you can get that will run off a 110 outlet, which is in an RV very, very vital, because if you were to go to the next step up, you're going to be getting into 240, and you're going to start needing to really add in some power supply. And anyways, we opted for the 12K BTU just because it is a 110 and we can kind of jump off of existing outlets. Now, in our case, we were really set up to add this with very minimum work. Now, this used to be an entire entertainment center, and this was a fireplace down here. What was really cool is that we went ahead and ripped all that out, and Tess really missed her books, so we decided to turn this into kind of like a bookshelf display. And then for our daughter, Calypso, she has a lot of toys, and we kind of needed storage for that. We didn't really care for the fireplace. They're not exactly efficient. Fireplace that was here, it had a designated power line running to it to supply it on its own breaker. And what I did is I rerouted that power supply just over to the mini split, and the mini split should be on its own breaker. That way there's no other power draws pulling from that, causing a fluctuation in the compressor, which will wear out those parts faster. So when installing this, you're going to want to make sure that it is on its own power supply line, which that can get difficult in an RV because you only have so many breaker spots, and they're usually maxed out by the time you get to fifth wheel. So we were able to repurpose that power supply and move it to the mini split. Installing the mini split on this has been really, really easy. Now, it's not going to be easy for everyone, but that's a whole nother video that we did. We'll eventually get that uploaded at some point. This video is probably the newest that I've shot out of the year's worth of supply of videos that I have on the SIM card. So yeah, I'll get to those eventually, but I really wanted to get this one out here. Back to the whole reason why we're doing this video. I kind of get off topic, and then before I know it, yeah, we're talking about other things. So the reason why we're going to implement the system that we're doing today is because the mini split keeps the cool and heat in this room, but our biggest problem is the bathroom and the bedroom. they don't get the circulation that the mini split puts out. So in the summer, they're super hot. In the winter, they're super cold. This is actually a company that I've used before now on the crazy solar system that we built on the Class C. I actually implemented their cooling fans into this whole system, which helps draw the heat that these components make, because this solar system does produce a lot of heat. So you need to be able to pull that heat out. These are thermostat controlled fans, and what they do is they just help pull the air out, the hot air out, and bring cold air in. And I've loved this company for a long time, and I will say that I am not sponsored by them. They did not pay me $1 to do this video, and I bought all of this with my own money. Back to the system. Now this company is called AC Infinity. Now they, what seems to me, specialize more or less in air filtration and air movement of growing systems, like growing plants and or other things. These systems are inline fans and filtration that really helps pull hot air from your growing rooms and help regulate that. Where I'm at is the kitchen, and right below me is a dead space down here. And this whole dead space down here gives me the ability to help pull all the air, the cold air in this kitchen and living room, because I have a direct shot from the mini split blasting cold or hot air right to where I'm standing. So what I want to do, I want to place this system to draw the air from here and tie into the existing ductwork that's already in the floor for the bathroom and for the bedroom, and just tie into that system to help pull the cold air in the summer from here, filter it, and then shoot it into our bedroom and bathroom. That way it can regulate the temperature in there. And also, what's really cool is this is a high traffic area. We have the pups coming in and out of the door. We have our daughter running around. This is where we're doing a lot of cooking. So it stirs up a lot of dust. The dogs, and if you have dogs, you do know that these things shed like an absolute grizzly bear. What's really cool about this system is you can operate it with your app. It's a smart device, so it will learn a lot on how you want it to operate, and it's Wi-Fi, so you can connect it and control it at any time. It's also temperature and humidity controlled, so it can regulate humidity and temperatures in rooms and whatnot, whatever settings you set it at. This thing is a killer system. Now, it's not exactly the cheapest, but when you look at the other filtration systems, the standalone filtration systems like we already have in place, like right here, we have this Blue Air 211 filter box, and honestly, it's been great. We've had this in our tiny house, we've had it in our Class C, we have it now here in the fifth wheel next to our pups, and that helps keep the dust, the hair, all the pollens. It filters it, smells. So this helps regulate all that, and then it keeps airflow movement. And in RVs, you need airflow movement. You don't want this stagnant air sticking around, especially in the wintertime. It's how you get mold and things like that. So this system's great, but it's bulky, it's kind of big, and I'm still going to keep it here to help regulate. And then it's going to do its job in there. But we also have one in our bedroom, which is a smaller cylinder. I believe this is the 411. I don't quite remember. But the big thing about these two air filters by Blue Air is their filters, well, at least for the big one, the 211, it's expensive. I think for two, it's like $80. And you change them out every 6 months or more, depending on your application of where they at, foot traffic, and that gets pricey. But the filtration box system that we're implementing, it works a lot like a furnace in a house, where you just slide in a accordion style filter. They're very common, they're very cheap. You can pick them up at any Home Depot. That's a common size. So what's cool about this is it's very cheap and inexpensive to replace. Let's get down to what the system is, like what to expect, what parts you may or may not need. Now, obviously, in this whole video, we're going to have an entire parts list. Now, everything that you see here is going to be from AC Infinity. There are a lot of things you could outsource to other companies, from other companies that, or you can even get them at your local store. However, I just kind of wanted to keep it all uniform. These are supposed to work with each other, so overall, just a real simple system. I don't know the price off the top of my head, but when I edit this video, this is the total price right here, or somewhere right here. And this is for everything that I have purchased for this system. Again, you don't need to get these specialty parts. You can probably source all of this from Home Depot or Lowe's or whatever your local store, and that will help probably offset the cost a little bit. But I am a firm believer in AC Infinity's their product line. It really is a great product. Everything's real sturdy, real. I like it. You know, it all fits well. So I'm a believer in their products. So I like to promote those things with companies that I actually do use and like. But anyways, let's get back to it. So this is all the components of with the system. It's really not a real complicated system. It's very, very simple. This is your main fan. This is your inline fan, 4-inch. I'm not sure if it'll lighten up in there. However, so this is your main component. This is what's going to pull air through the tubes and push air out where, you know, whatever. So this is probably the most expensive part. Now you can just install this between your lines. You can do Bluetooth. You can do Wi-Fi. This is the controller. What's real cool, it's a real stout, sturdy, feels well made. But what's cool, it is magnetized. To place it in places is really, really awesome. It comes with manuals on exactly what it is, how to operate it, product warranty. But what's real cool is they send you these cards. They have a ridiculous varieties of different, different products that you might be able to use in your applications for all kinds of different stuff. So shows you all kinds of different applications and things to use for. But anyways, that comes with every product that you buy from them. Here we have what this is going to be inlet vents that I'm going to use, that I'm going to be mounting somewhere down here. And that's where my air is going to draw in. What's cool is even this comes with a little, how to install it. Again, it all comes with a product card, screws, and then over here this actually comes with, I believe this is to the box. I kind of opened up everything when I first got it, so that's one of your cords to this system. And so you can buy these at really any store, but I opt to go with them because, I don't know, they're kind of insulated, they're thick walled, it's kind of this rubber membrane. Love this. Pretty inexpensive. I mean, this will be enough to do more than what I need to do. And then last and not least, we're going to get into the filter box. Now, again, oh yeah, sorry, I also forgot about the Y. Now you can get this Y at any store. I just opted to go with this. It's nice, heavy duty metal. It's very stout. I do like this ridge here that they have that helps when you put on your clamps. It really helps keep this on and in place, but it's sturdy. It's not like the little super thin ones you get from Home Depot, so real sturdy stuff. I like that a lot. But let's get into the filter box. Now, this is what's going to filter your air, and you don't need this, but it would make sense to just go ahead and throw it in if you have the room. And like I said, is real simple. This is just a filter, and you can get that size at just about anywhere. You can get it from the Infinity store. But anyways, you have your air that will come in here, filter through here, and then come out here, or vice versa. So in my application, what I'm going to want to do is I want my inlet to come here, because I want any heavy particles to come down and fall here. That way they're not clogging the filter. What I like about that is I can open this up, vacuum this out, replace the filter, and be done. So this is the box. And like I said, this is a very, very sturdy. It's metal, it's pretty thick gauge. It's not cheaply made. Like, it is a very nice stout box. Comes with these, so you can obviously do that. So again, let's get into it. Now, every fifth wheel is going to be different. Every RV is going to be different. You can install this in a home if you wanted to. In fact, when we build our home at our property, what we do plan on implementing a much larger system. Now, this is just the 4-inch. The 4-inch, they do an 8-inch, they do 6-inch. I think they even go bigger than that. I can't quite confirm it, but I do know that they have much larger systems. I did 4-inch just because it's going to fit in my application here, but you can get huge ones for homes that move a ridiculous amount of air. I've already plugged this in and tested it, and let me tell you, this thing can move air. Somewhere right here, like I said, this is a high foot traffic area. This is a grate, and there's really nothing back there. I actually planned on putting our main box behind that. That way I can access it, change the filter, and then our fan can be somewhere underneath there, which we'll go out there here in a moment, but I'm not exactly sure where I'm going to put this. I thought about right here, but it may end up going, right there. And we'll go outside real quick. Somewhere we're going to put the fan in here. Now, what's really cool about where we're at down here is we already have an outlet, and that's what the fan will plug into. That way, where the fan can be placed in here, and it's drawing air from inside the unit back there through that little grate, and then it'll be coming through here from the fan, and then it'll hit that Y that we got, and it'll go up into those two ports back there. Now, those two ports are the existing ducting that ran from the furnace. One is to the bedroom, the other is to the bathroom, and again, like I always do, and I say, is I always rip out the propane furnaces just because they're not efficient. I installed 2 diesel heaters, which that's a whole nother video on what we did with this. Right now I have them disconnected because it's the summertime, and I needed these tubes out of my way just because they were kind of in the way while I was doing a bunch of work in here. So as of right now, they're not hooked up, but one actually runs down into that hole, which heats the belly because needed to keep the tanks and all the water lines down there from freezing. And the other one actually ran up here and through this vent into the bedroom. So that's kind of where that runs, but for now we're not going to have that hooked up. So another video, which hopefully this video isn't too long by the time I'm done, we have 2 water heaters. We have an instant water heater and a tanked water heater. What's cool is we didn't want to sacrifice one or the other, and that is a whole nother video of that install. But it is the pros and cons of a tanked versus a tankless, and that will be a never-ending battle that people want to fight about. But pros and cons to both depending on your application. However, instead of opting for one or the other, I decided to just install both of them, and it was real easy because the furnace is actually where the instant hot water sits. Now, that instant hot water heater is strictly for our shower. That way, if test showers, I don't have to wait for that water to warm back up before I shower. It's automatically there for as long as we want. Now, pros and cons to both, but that's a whole nother video. Eventually, I will put that footage together and put that out there. We're going to get to installing this, cutting some holes, and this is just dead space. I mean, there's a whole flashlight I left down here. That's where that's been. Might as well use it. I thought I lost this. Must have stowed it down here and forgot about it. Anyways, so there's just a ton of room down here.
And here's the thing, it'll give us so much extra space in our room to do activities. Please.
Might as well try to utilize this area for storage because, you guys know, you can't have enough storage in a fifth wheel ever. So, but the box would fit perfect here, and it would kind of make a little bit of sense to. We are going to mount this right here. As far as the controller, I'm not sure. I would say I'd put it here, but my daughter will find it, and she will think it's her personal remote control, so I'm not sure we're going to do that. However, I wish AC Infinity, I wish you guys would make this in black.
Does it come in black?
probably going to pull this cover off, which it just pops off here like so. And I might actually sand this down and paint it with a plastic base paint, black, that way it doesn't stick out like a sore thumb. So, and then we could kind of come in and then right into our box, I think, maybe. That's the cool thing about what we're doing here is it's just kind of, you know, you just fucking kind of make it work somehow. Now, there's a divider board here. This is our area. Now, we have tons of room back here. I'm not going to really mess with those wires, keep them kind of away from everything. On the back side of this here, we kind of have some space to work with here. And again, we could put that box here. Great for both. But look at that. Like, almost close, almost perfect. So, look at that. Make sure your inlet and outlet. I want this to be my inlet. I want that to be my outlet because the particles will fall down here. I also want this accessible to change out the filter periodically because I will be filtering, having to change that out probably once a month, maybe once every other month. Not sure. We'll at least draw that out so I can. Another cool thing is this vent inlet. You know, that goes over it. It actually has these bevel doors that you can close off, you know, 50%, 25, and it even has numbers right here. I'm not sure you could see them, but it'll tell you like 50%, 25%, yada. So it tells you, you know. But anyways, what's cool is you can control if you have these as air outlets, you can control how much air movement goes through them, which definitely is nice. So this is thin enough that I might get away with using my razor blade. Just cut a nice circle out of that and placing it. Okay, so here we have the fan. And real quick, what we're going to do is, just for mounting purposes, we're going to take these rings and spread those apart. Now, this fan can so this is your fan. Pretty simple, pretty cool. Just remember the way it went in, just like that. We want to make sure it stays like that. There's an arrow right here and an arrow right here. Those arrows need to match, so just remember that. This gives us the ability now to mount this system through this bottom plate here, which we do want to mount it because we don't want it just flopping all over the place. And you know, bouncing around and disconnecting and what have you. So we'll get some screws. That way we can screw this somewhere over there, up and out of place. And then, yeah, that'll be what we do there. I was thinking we were going to mount, oh boy, there. That way it's up out of the way. All right, so that's what we have, guys. We have the inlet coming in right there, going out, up and around into the fan, then through here into the... Oh, hi, Calypso. Oh, is he waving? Hi, baby. Anyways, we got it going into the Y, and then this one runs to the bedroom, and then this one runs to the bathroom. So, hi, baby. Say hi. Say hi, YouTube. Is that a banana? Definitely feel some air coming out there. Some good airflow coming out of there. Okay, so now that pretty much all of that is mounted, I just mounted this here for now till I can place it somewhere. But this is the controller, and what's cool about the controller is it has room for 3 more fans. So you have your main fan on one, then you have all your other 1, 2, 3, and 4. So you could essentially put 4 total fans, so 3 more on just this one controller. I'm not sure if you guys can see what's going on here, but you can go in and you can select which fan, turn them all off, and then you can turn it down where it's just a low fan speed or all the way up. And I already have this connected to an app. Alright guys, we're going to show you the app real quick. We're going to go down here to AC Infinity and click on this guy. And right here it shows our first fan, the only fan we have hooked up. Port 1 up here. Right here we got temperature. Now that I plugged my probe in, it'll show temperature, humidity, VPD, no idea what that is. I should know, but I don't. Right now I got it on level 10. This thing runs full blast while we're using it. And then if you did have other devices, other fans I should say, hooked up to your unit, you'll have it down here will be another box, and that'll show what that is reading. Awesome to have it control with your app, to be able to control that no matter where you're at. Do enjoy that, real awesome. So anyways guys, that is the app, real simple. So far haven't had any bugs. It works pretty awesome, connects to your internet, and kind of goes through that. And here it kind of shows you now, since I just plugged in my probe, I haven't had it plugged in, it'll now start reading, giving you kind of a rundown of what your history, humidity and temperature and VPD, yeah, so pretty neat to be able to see all that stuff. And anyways, yeah, so that's the app, guys. Shows temperature of what's going on. You could preset temperature and or humidity percentage. And anyways, this will be an awesome thing. I will add probably another fan or two for more circulation and filtration, but that's the install. So it's been exactly 1 month since we've installed that filter unit, and I was going to post this video right away, but I wanted to give it a little bit of time so we can take this filter off together after having it run for exactly 1 month, all day, every day, for 24 hours a day. And let's see how much has collected in this and if it's doing its job. Now, it has been amazing for regulating our bedroom and bathroom with the temperature problems that we were having in those, since the mini split is our main source of cool air in here. So we're going to pull off this grate real quick and take a look. Now, something I didn't mention in the previous video. This is your thermostat and humidity probe, and you would put this in the desired room that you want to regulate temperature and what have you. I haven't had mine installed simply because this runs 24/7. And again, nothing really has changed on what I've done with the system. We're actually out here at a campground right now, so I figured this would be a good time to take a quick look. So let's just remove that out of the way. We can actually shut this off for right now. Let that power down. This is our grate. The amount of hair that's typically stuck to it every day. I vacuum this grate every day and it's crazy. Alright. Let's see. Now, as I predicted, got a bunch of bigger particles down here. I'm gonna vacuum that out, but let's pull this filter out. Woo! That's got some good hair on it. I mean, it's hard to tell in this video, but man, there is a lot on there. And this is just from 1 month. Now, I do think I'm going to change the system up a little bit. As of right now, I only have one port. I'm actually going to put a Y on that, get another one of those, and put it right here, because I have a collection of dirt from the pups from us walking up the stairs that collect right here. So putting a port right there is really going to help with a little bit more pulling. But so far, it's done its job. Not to mention, it's definitely done its job for regulating the other rooms. Anyways, guys, if you like that video, follow along. There'll be tons of more. I think the next one that I'm going to put out will be the 2 water heaters that we have. We have a tankless water heater and then also a tanked water heater, and these are both on our rig and both functioning, and that's going to be the next video. The install and obviously the pros and cons to each, depending on how you like to camp. It might really change on your needs for one or the other, so that'll be the next one. Hopefully we'll get that out next week. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you later. Peace out.